Hey everybody, it's Cindy, and today I am going to show you a project that I have been working on for a while now. For me, this project began because I have a real problem with scale when I'm working on scrapbooking. I have a hard time making the elements balance on the page size-wise. I'm not a graphic artist, I'm not a regular artist. I love some of the pages I see on YouTube and Pinterest, but I have a hard time visually understanding how the scale on the page works. Colors, what the elements are, all of that I get. But the scale is always problematic for me because I don't have that spatial recognition that some people seem to have. So to combat that, I have been working to design right now an Excel-based program that I hope to someday get translated into a more user-friendly format. Some other sort of programming language. I'm not a programmer either, but I can do the basics with Excel and Visual Basic and macros. I designed this program to combat my problems with spatial recognition. And basically what that means is that I take an item that I'm going to scraplift, a layout on Pinterest or a layout that I see in a magazine, and I import the picture into my program and I let Excel do the work for me. So in this case, today I'm going to show you how I do that with a Pinterest image. Let's go ahead and flip to the first image and we'll get started. This image came from allaboutScrapbooksaustralia.blogspot.com.au. I will go ahead and put a link in the description box below so that you can find the actual image on Pinterest. I saved this image to my desktop and now I'm going to go ahead and open my Excel program, and the first thing you're going to see is a little message box that pops up that says, "Are you ready to scraplift?" Go ahead and click on yes, and when you do, it's going to give you another message box that pops up in its place, and that message box will give you further direction. In this case, it's going to tell you to select an image to begin the scraplifting process, and it will also give you a little bit of further information as far as the necessity for selecting a different image type in the dialog box that opens next. So now we'll navigate to our selected file, and like the dialog box says, you might have to change your image type to choose the correct one. So I'm going to pick the image that I want to start with. The next dialog box pops up. Just going to follow the instructions, read the directions on each step, and it is going to then insert the picture into your Excel file. So now this is where we start the actual original idea for my program, which is to measure those elements and give me a good sense of scale and balance that I am personally lacking. So you're going to start by measuring each and every element using the auto shape tool. So as you can see in this case, I'm going to draw big rectangles around each of those pieces of pattern paper. Then I'm going to continue on through the elements like embellishments and photo mats and the layers behind the photo and the little pieces of pattern paper that are part of the layout of the page, and then the title, and then the little tiny embellishments even. You want to go over each element, just draw a shape around it. It doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just getting an idea of the space it takes up on the page itself. And please note, I use all the shapes. I use triangles, I use circles, I use squares, rectangles, whatever will most accurately cover in that transparent box the element that you're working on, the title, the photo mat, the little embellishment cluster up at the top, the clouds, the little triangle at the bottom, whatever will most accurately cover that without taking up too much additional space than the actual element takes up. That's what you want to use. So I use triangles, I use circles for the doily, I used squares and rectangles primarily, but as I get more involved in the process, I will actually start using more of the different shapes that are built into Excel's auto shape feature. So you continue working through each of the shapes one by one. You can start from the back, you can start from the front, it really doesn't matter. Basically what you are doing is measuring the spaces of each of the elements and how much space it takes up on the page without actually doing any measuring. So Excel is going to do all this for you when you hit the continue button here in a few minutes. Excel is going to measure each of those elements, and it's going to give you a chance to decide what each of those elements is, and it's going to create an output, kind of a chart off to the side that you can then print along with a picture of your layout. So this is really a pretty user-friendly system. The only thing you really need to know is how to use auto shapes, some basic Excel skills, and then just how to drag an object over another shape. So you're dragging a square over the title, you're dragging a square over where that embellishment cluster is up at the top, you're dragging a circle over to represent the doily, and then down at the bottom you're dragging the triangle over the little triangle shaped pieces of pattern paper down at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up with all the shapes and with all the elements on the scrapbook page, so things like the title, and I'm going to ignore those little embellishments. There's a little cluster of enamel dots on the page. Those are really small. You can do them if you want to, but really enamel dots on enamel dot. They don't get too big or too small. I'm going to finish up by highlighting the title. And then as you can see, I've got the title, I've got the doily, I've got all the little embellishments. I've even got the background papers, so I know that that gray one should be this size and the pattern paper should be this size, the one with all the raindrops on it. And the doily, it's going to give me a good size for that, so I can go through my stash and find something that comes pretty close. Then I'm going to hit continue, and it's going to ask me the width of my new layout. So if this is a 12 by 12 layout, which it is, originally it was a 12 by 12, and I do 8.5 by 11, I'm going to go ahead and put in 8.5 by 11, and what that's going to do is it's going to give me dimensions that are scaled down to an 8.5 by 11 page. I'm going to go ahead and do a 12 by 12 page, and then I'm going to follow the directions on the screen. So it says always choose one for the background paper. It's not going to be highlighted after that. Tell the program what each of these highlighted orange areas are. The first one is always 1, which is the background paper, and then you just start working your way through. So whatever gets highlighted orange, tell the program what that is. Background paper, pattern paper, embellishments, photo mat. You just go through and you tell it what each of those things are, and you work your way through all of the elements on the page. There's all of your measurement. You have pattern paper, embellishments, photo mat, title, all your embellishment clusters, and it's going to tell you exactly what size of space that actually takes up, and it tells you in inches. Once you're done with that, you have the option, the prompt, to begin deleting the gray squares. You shouldn't always hit no for the first one. I didn't. I deleted everything by accident, but you'll always hit no for the first one, and then it's going to start highlighting things orange again, and that you just say yes, it's going to delete it, and the end result should be the original picture. And unfortunately I hit yes instead of no when I should have, so it deleted everything. But then it's going to give you the option to print it, and you click OK, and then it says, are you ready to scrap lift? You can choose yes, it'll start all over again, or you can choose no, and it's going to give you a button up there to click when you're ready to start again. So that's it. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I created this program for myself, for a need that I saw, but I've had some interest from people that I've talked to about it, and I would be really interested in getting your opinion on it, if this is something that you would be interested in using if you have similar spatial recognition problems, or if you want something that makes your scrapbooking time a little more, I wouldn't want to say convenient, but a little more efficient. So if that interests you, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up on this video, and I will definitely look into creating this in a more user-friendly environment. Thanks, and have a good day.